MuleSoft exactly? So MuleSoft is nothing but an EAI product. So we call it as integration product, we call it as middleware, we call it as EAI product as well. So it is nothing but full-fledged EAI product. Now, is MuleSoft only EAI product in the market? Not at all. So there are various competitors to MuleSoft. So major competitor to MuleSoft is nothing but TIBCO BusinessWorks. So TIBCO is the name of a company, and BusinessWorks is the product from TIBCO's side. So major competitor is this one. Then there are various competitors like Oracle AIA is there, application integration architecture. Then Web Methods is there. Various integration products are there. List continues. So if we go from top to bottom, so that kind of rigorous competition these products are giving to MuleSoft. Okay, rather MuleSoft is giving competition to this product because these products were there in the market whenever MuleSoft launched 3-4 years back, and MuleSoft started giving competition to all these products basically. Okay, now whenever we say EAI product, what is that EAI product basically? So let us talk about that. What do you mean by EAI? So EAI stands for Enterprise Application Integration. So what exactly this MuleSoft does? Whenever we say it is doing integration, what exactly it does? So it is, as a long form, we call it as Enterprise Application Integration. Now, what is this enterprise application integration all about? Let us talk about that. Now, first thing, let us understand what do you mean by enterprise. Okay, so enterprise means what? Let us say Kiran is working as developer. Okay, maybe senior developer, and he is working for XYZ employer. So XYZ is, let's say, for the sake of example, let me take instead of XYZ, let me say Wipro. So Wipro is employer of Kiran. Let's assume that. And on the project, Kiran is working for some company, let's say Citibank. Okay, so Citibank is customer of Wipro, and Kiran is working on Citibank's project basically. So whatever Citibank company is there, that we are calling it as enterprise here. So what do you mean by enterprise? Citibank is enterprise for Wipro, enterprise for Kiran. What do you mean by enterprise applications? So to run the business, what this Citibank does, it takes different application. So we say Citibank, or we say any DAM application. Now uh, I used to take Citibank as the example, but I heard that Citibank is migrating from its existing integration product to something else. They are trying to replace that with their own Java developed code. So that's a bad news for integration market really. But let me not take Citibank example. Let me take different, let's say British Telecom. Okay, for the sake of any company, I'm just taking that. Okay, so I avoid to take Citibank as the example. Now, whenever I say British Telecom, it is telecom company, and to run the telecom business, it requires different set of operation to take care. Now, it may be telecom enterprise, it may be insurance enterprise, banking enterprise, any kind of enterprise. To run the business operation, it requires different products in different areas. For example, if I say telecom example, let's say I require CRM product, customer relationship management product I require. Then I require billing product. Okay, so such kind of different products British Telecom purchase from different vendors. So maybe CRM, let's say they are using Siebel as their CRM, which is Oracle's product. maybe billing product, they are using Geneva as their billing product. Other products, let's say they use from Oracle, IBM, and different companies are there, different vendors are there, and from those those applications are purchased. So all these applications, we call it as enterprise application. Now using this enterprise application, your enterprise, your customer runs the business basically. Okay, so as we said, there are different enterprises. So if you look at this British Telecom, it will look like this. So there will be certain CRM product purchased from Oracle. Let's say Siebel is there and it is CRM product. Then let's say billing is there, southbound system it is called as, and let's say that is Geneva is the billing product. I'm just taking names, even if you are not aware about this name, that's absolutely fine. Billing product. Then let's say there is inventory product. Let's say UIM, Universal Inventory Management, that is Oracle's product again. That is nothing but inventory management product. Then there is, let's say, service management. So service management product is there. There is provisioning product is there. Let's say ASAP, that is provisioning product. So the point is, maybe there can be some legacy application already existing. So British Telecom really don't want to get rid of as so many mainframe systems, so they may have so many legacy systems. Okay, they may have some homegrown application also. So let's say some portal is there and that is developed by British Telecom by recruiting developers. So that may be homegrown portal in Java. There may be some homegrown application that may be .NET. Okay, so if you look at spread of all these applications, so the need of business is, need of British Telecom is that these all applications should talk to each other. They need to send details to each other, use each other's result, basically whatever data which is generated by different application, that will be used by other application. So that is the need of the business of British Telecom. But the problem is, these all are heterogeneous application. They are purchased from different vendors, so they are really different. So you cannot have homogeneous application. These are all different application which are nothing but heterogeneous application. So they are heterogeneous in on various front maybe. So maybe technology front. So one application is mainframe technology, another application is .NET, then Java, and then maybe different set of technologies are getting used which are technologically heterogeneous. Okay, another thing maybe their data format can be different. So one application is generating, let's say, XML, and other application says that I don't understand XML, I deal with CSV file. Okay, so that can be the heterogeneity maybe on the data format front, or maybe it can be on the communication mechanism front. The way that application are communicating, their way of communication is different. Okay, so maybe this is Java based application which is communicating in JMS way. So it has some queues, topics, and the message will be sent on that queue, topics, etc. And maybe other application that says, no, I am the web service. Okay, I am the SOAP web service. If somebody want to contact me, it has to be SOAP client. I don't know how to deal with JMS. I don't know how to deal with CSV or XML. I only know I am SOAP based web service, and if somebody want to invoke my service, that application should be SOAP client. So that is what the expectation of each and every application. So each and every application is developed by different vendor, and they all having different expectations. So forget about all these vendors will sit together and they will decide some common mechanism. They will decide some common technology or common data format. Forget about that. These are purely heterogeneous. Right now we are talking about just 4 or 5 applications. There may be a couple of dozens of applications in the small enterprise, and in the big enterprise maybe more than 50, 60 applications together. Okay, so if we talk about all these vendors need to sit together and they have to agree upon common format or common technology or common mechanism, that's not possible. So here there is a need of integration basically, and we require some middleman which will actually facilitate this particular communication. So that middleman is nothing but enterprise application integration product. So that's what will be the job of typically any AI product. Okay, so what that will do, it will just coordinate with different applications. Okay, and it will be the middleman, it will be the central application which will coordinate. Of course, whenever I say central, I mean only middle party which will facilitate the communication. Architecture may be totally different. Okay, it's not like central point is the architecture. We will talk about all those architecture. Sometime we refer MuleSoft as Mule ESB. So it is aligned with bus based architecture. It is enterprise service bus. We will talk about that. Rather, other competitors like Oracle AIA or TIBCO BusinessWorks, these are also aligned with bus based architecture. TIBCO BW, that is also called as ESB. Okay, so we will talk about what is this bus based architecture, what are other architectures are there, and so on. So whenever I look at integration product, it is like a middleman. Now many people think that, does that mean integration product is merely the translator? What do you think? Does that mean AI product is just a translator? It is taking one format, converting that into the source format and the destination format, and it is converting that. Is it true? It's only translator, or it contains something else also. Kiran, Justine, what is your thought on that? So far we were talking about
Yeah,
what do you mean by AI. Yep, go on.
yeah, that's true. Several components can communicate or exchange the data regardless of the technology or protocol they're using. That's true.
Correct, correct. So
Yeah.
uh, is it only translation? Is it there
Uh,
is some source format and there is some destination format and we have the translation? Rather, translation is not the right word really, but we
mhm.
call it as transformation. That is true that it is translation only. What we are doing, that is translation only, but it is more sophisticated than that, which we call as transformation. So we write transformation logic in the AI product. Translation logic may be simpler, that A will be treated as B for the destination, X will be treated as Y at the destination. The translation may be simple enough, transformation may be more complex. For example, you may have to take data from 3 applications, you may have to do some conversion, you may have to join that data together, and the one data item will be formed which will be sent to the 4th application, which is more complex than the merely the translation, so which we call as transformation. Okay, so what is the job of an AI product? Doing transformation of source. Now that may be data, that may be message, that may be anything. So whatever source data is coming or source message is coming, transforming that as per the expectation from the destination system. That's what is the job of an AI product. Okay, now so far are you good? What is AI? What is the job of a typical AI product? That may be TIBCO BusinessWorks, that may be Oracle AI, that may be Web Methods, that may be any MuleSoft or any damn AI product. What is the job of that? That's what we discuss, right?